Last March in a mini-direct, it was announced that the next DLC fighter to be put in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate would be from ARMS. Not what character it would be, just that they were from ARMS. This took everyone aback, not just because everyone thought ARMS was dead, but also because Smash has never announced the series before the fighter. This has opened up the floodgates for everyone to speculate who could possibly be the chosen fighter. Will it be someone everyone expects, or will they surprise us with something we never expected? Well, today I will barely be discussing that, but instead ranking all the characters and how much I think they should be chosen. Starting, of course, with the Springed Man himself. Springman, in my opinion, is the worst possible choice for Smash. Out of all the great designs in ARMS, Springman's is the most generic and his personality follows suit. While it would be a reach to say any of the ARMS characters have amazingly in-depth characters, Springman just has the least going on. Under normal circumstances, Springman would be by far the most obvious choice for Smash. He's the main character, and if there's one rule in choosing Smash fighters, it's that Sakurai, or most likely Nintendo, loves themselves some main characters. But if Springman's the fighter, then why keep it a secret who the ARMS rep is gonna be? I know Nintendo can be a bit dense sometimes, but do they really think people's minds would be blown if the main character got the slot? It just kinda seems like a waste if they're gonna keep it a secret. Next up is Ribbon Girl, the next big shot in the roster. If Springman can't be in, the next obvious choice for a main character bias is Ribbon Girl. Ribbon Girl appears in just as much promotional material as Springman and honestly might as well share the title of main character. And since she isn't an assist trophy, I think she has the highest odds of being the rep. Overall, while her design and character are lacking in comparison to some of the other characters on the list, I'll give her a solid A tier. Ninjara is a ninja. There really isn't much to talk about with this guy. He's just a ninja. And while he was one of the first characters shown off for ARMS, I don't really see him as iconic or important to the universe. He doesn't have a bad design. I just think he gets beat out by a good number of other choices. B tier. The Master of Mummies, the biggest of men, the first to be put in C tier. While Master Mummy was one of the first characters revealed for ARMS, he's also one of the last characters I think of when I think about ARMS. There's just not much that really stands out about him, especially when you compare him to our next character, Min Min, in obvious S tier. While there are other characters that I would want more, there is no denying that Min Min is the fan favorite. Even before she won the ARMS tournament to show who the favorite was, Min Min was seen almost as much as the two main characters, and was extremely prominent in art and promotional material. I feel like if Smash wants to have a general ARMS rep that will make the most people happy, Min Min is the best choice they could make. Not only would it break the expectation that main characters are always the first rep, but it would also bring in a character that is able to use their legs, a feature that would be very useful for aerials and tilt attacks. Mechanica is in the same room as Ninjara, where even though she was one of the first revealed, there's nothing really of note. Seeing as we are only getting one ARMS rep, I don't think there's any real reason to put her in over the others. But now it's time for the big one. The one everyone loved for her big, amazing personality. I mean, look at that sass. Queen Slay! But yeah, Twintelle is definitely one of the fan favorites. She's been big for basically the entire time she's been revealed. And really the only ARMS character I can think of that had people excited about their reveal trailer. You know, for one reason or another, I can't say what it is. who say here or there why, but yeah, I could definitely see Twintelle being the rep just out of sheer popularity alone. And her having actual arms instead of the extendable arms could actually help a lot with things like picking up items. So I could definitely see her being in high A tier, low S tier. No, not sure where to put her yet. Think just high A tier. Next up is Bark and Bite. Yeah, they exist. While I'm not opposed to these characters getting in, I just don't see it happening. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. Next up is Cobra Kid, the only character on this list that I had to look up the name for when doing this video, because I couldn't remember this guy even existing. Yeah, Cobra Kid doesn't really have anything unique or creative going on. He's just kind of skateboard guy. Skateboards. I really could not see a possibility of Cobra Kid being the arms rep. It just doesn't seem feasibly possible. But who knows? Crazier things have happened. Next up is Helix. Now, Helix is an obvious S tier. Look at this goopy boy. Not only is this character extremely unique, but just think about all the moveset possibilities that could come about. Just how stretchy and globby he is. He would just be the best. I would want him so much. Please let Helix be the rep. That would be so much fun. Like, most of these characters, they would be fun to play, but no one would be fun to play like Helix. No one could even compare. Except maybe, of course, the big man himself, Max Brass. Being the main boss for the majority of the game's lifespan, Max Brass could definitely be a huge contender for the arms rep. I mean, look at, he's big, he's bulky. You could see this guy having lunch with Captain Falcon. They would get along great. They should get along great. Not only that, but Max Brass just has a lot of charm to him. Even though I don't think he's gonna be the rep, I could definitely see it. He wouldn't be out of place. Someone who would be out of place, though, is Lola Pop. Lola Pop is just a walking clown lollipop inflation fetish. Like, she's got everything. She's got it all. You never see it coming with the lollipop gang. But yeah, she would definitely be an odd choice as the second DLC fighter in ARMS. She really doesn't have that much recognizability, but I mean, it'd be really funny if she was chosen, so A tier. Our 13th contestant is MissAngo. Yeah, while I think this guy is really cool, he's not gonna be the arms rep. He was the third DLC fighter. He's the middle character. I don't even think most people remember this guy exists at all. His gimmick is way too gimmicky for, like, if we're gonna get one arms rep, we're not gonna have all the gimmicks of ARMS and MissAngo's gimmicks. Like, that's just too many gimmicks. It's like a smorgasbord of gimmicks, just all rolled into one. It wouldn't be able to handle it. So, but yeah, I think he'd still be cool, so B tier. Next up, our 14th contestant, and is Springtron. It's Springtron, and I think I'm going to give him a special tier of somehow even worse than the worst possible option. Now you might be wondering, No, I don't think you're wondering anything, because this character is fucking awful. It's just Springman, but a robot. That's it. It's all the blandness of Springman, but with the added blandness of just being a robot. There's just nothing here. I cannot. If this is the rep, I would actually be mad. The only character I can think of where I would just straight up be upset. But finally, we have Dr. Coil. And Dr. Coil is the best possible option. Not only is Dr. Coil the main villain of the franchise, she made like a fifth of the roster. Not only did she make a fifth of the roster, but she also made Headlock, the main final boss and a full game mode of the game. If anyone were to have Headlock as a final smash, it would be Dr. Coil. Now you could say Max Brass, but she's the one who made it. She is obsessed with arms. She's just crazy. And if there's one thing we need more of in Smash Bros., it's villains and female villains. Look at all these characters. None of them are female villains. The closest thing we have is Belef's Edelgard skin, and that barely counts. Overall, Dr. Coil, easily one of the best reps we could possibly ask for. She's evil, she's crazy, she's obsessed with arms. She would be the perfect rep for Smash Bros. So with all that in mind, who is going to be the rep for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Springman, because God hates me.